Hi everyone, my name is Marco with Board Game Revolution, and today we have a sneak peek of Imnia by Blacksea Interactive, launching on Kickstarter March 26th. Now, if you were to ask me to compare this to other games I've played, I would give you descriptions like, oh, it's like Everdell with a mix of Le Havre and Splendor, all into one with a unique crafting system. But instead of giving you these of what it is like, let's just go right into the game and show you how it's played. Imnia is a 2 to 4 player engine building and worker placement game where players are trying to build up their city-states to build up enough influence to get plans for a wonder and be the first to complete it. The game comes with one game board, over 210 cards made up of building cards, wonder cards, character cards, achievement cards, quest cards, and local resources cards, 120 tokens, 21 steward meeples, 24 exotic tokens, and much more. Each round in Imnia, players will take turns until everyone consecutively passes. The available actions that players have are free actions and steward actions. As a free action, players can build any revealed building by paying the cost at the lower left-hand corner of each card. Here we see the player pays 1 brown and 1 yellow resource, then acquires the port card and places it within their tableau. Each building you build will give you 1 influence to go to acquiring your wonder. The open building space immediately gets filled with a new card. If a duplicate building is drawn, put it on the bottom of the deck and draw a new card. Players can also recruit characters as a free action. The cost of the character is right below the name. As we see here, the trader costs either 4 coat of arms or a parchment item with a red resource. You will immediately pay the cost for the character and put the character in your tableau. Characters already within your tableau that have an ability can be used on your turn once a season as a free action. During your turn, if you fulfilled one of the requirements on the quest card, you can turn it in as a free action. Here the player discards 2 exotics back into the pool and gains 2 influence. Once your influence has finally hit 7, players can start beginning construction on their wonder. Once a season, players can construct 1 stage of their wonder. Steward actions require you to place a steward either in your tableau, on the game board, or another player's tableau. To do a building action, players will take one of their stewards and place it on one of their buildings. This will activate the card for this season. There are also standard action players can take that is on the game board. If you demolish a building on the game board, you will remove a card from your tableau and reduce your influence by 1. The third action that stewards can play is by going onto an opponent's card. Here we see the yellow player takes the apothecary action within the red player's tableau. They create a cure, but also lose an influence to the red player. So let's talk about the highlights of this game. First I want to point out is the buildings right over here. Now the buildings is the closest port you're going to get to a Le Havre and Everdell type of scenario. And when I say that is, with those buildings you're building up your own tableau, so you open up actions for your workers to take. Not only are you opening up actions for your workers to take, those actions can be used by your opponents as well. So your opponent can send their steward over onto my building even if I have my own person on there, and they can get the benefit from it. But when they do so, they give you influence because they're using, of course, your buildings. So it gets you closer of making your wonder. The next thing I want to point out is the versatility of the items and the quest. So items aren't just spent on one thing and one thing only. They can be spent on multiple different buildings or characters, or they can even be turned in for resources or to complete quests. And with quests, you're not just stuck with just one quest and that's it. You actually have a top and a bottom style of quest. You can complete either one. Now the top quest usually gives you influence, which gets you to build your wonder, or opens up special abilities, which are almost game breaking because they're so good. But then you have the bottom quest, which give you coat of arms, And this is how you complete the game, by finishing off your wonder with your coat of arms. So thinking about your game style and how you play, you want to decide which one's going to be best for your game. And the last highlight I want to point out about this game is the depth of strategy needed for it. So it's one of those that's actually really easy to learn. You'll pick it up between 10 to 15 minutes, even if that. But to master the game and to learn all the synergies, it's almost like Seasons, where you actually have to play it a lot of times before you're starting to see the connections between buildings, between characters, even between the unique buildings and the quests that you get. And once you've mastered that, you're not done, because there's so many different dominant strategies that are clashing with one another that there's no over-dominant strategy. So this is one of those games that you're constantly going to be working with and adjusting to match your best strategy. So if you like what you see here, please make sure to check out Imnia on Kickstarter on March 26th. And if you want, you can join us on Board Game Revolution's community, where we'll actually have an interview with the designer on April 2nd. My name is Marco. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you next time.